with the one Permane Brothers sandwich at regular price, and the second one 33 cents. Is it any surprise to you, Mike, that Derpy ate the 33-cent one?
No, it does not surprise me at all.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is episode 376 of the Two Dum Yinzers. Big news. We are only 2 days away. 2 days away from the first Steeler game, guys. There's NFL games tomorrow. Mike Tomlin's conference, I believe, is going on right now. It went on at 11:35. So if you're just joining us or joining us at a later time, we say welcome. Yes, guys. 2 days. 2 days. You guys ready for this? You've been waiting for several months.
Wait.
You got to be ready.
I am so ready for this game. Oh God. I probably won't be able to watch much of it, but just to know that I wake up and I can see Steeler highlights, read fan overreaction to a preseason game. This is like Christmas come early.
Yeah. Good stuff, guys.
I can't wait.
I got the World Series, the Little League World Series going on here. It's a studio. And I just looked over into one kid, like, it tells you about the kid. It's like he bats right, throws right. He's 12 years old, and he can do backflips. What would yours say, Mike? What would your special talent be? Do you have a talent that you'd be able to write of?
Nothing that would be appropriate for the Little League World Series.
Mike Mahler, he's bald and he wipes sitting down. And just a charismatic some bitch. This will be on your podcast baseball trading card.
Special talent.
Derby, of course, today is a Permane sandwich.
Yes.
Which he went out and he ate the 33-cent one, which is no surprise to me. Mike, did you get Permane's yesterday?
No, I had I made homemade fried rice. But you have all month. Now you can go out and get 4 sandwiches. Well, I think a sandwich is about $8. I have no idea. It's been a while since I've been to. It's been a while since I've been.
$32 usually for 8 sandwiches, give or take, and you get 4 of them for $19.99. So that's a deal.
That's not bad at all.
That's a big deal.
I kind of want one, but there's none around me. I have to drive to go for them. I'm not too. Nah, this is too far for me to go.
Yeah,
but it's worth it. Look at it. It's worth it.
Just look at it. Look at it, Mike.
Look at it. Just look at it.
I just want you to stare at that the whole time while we're on the show, so you could realize what you did was wrong. I'm going to start with baseball, guys. Pirates, they almost beat the Braves 2 games in a row. They go in the 9th inning with a 6-5 lead. David Bednar comes in, gives up 3 runs in the 9th inning, giving up his second blown save of the season. Braves score 3 runs, puts them up 8-6. Of course, the Pirates can't do nothing in the bottom of the 9th. They don't score. Final score in that game is 8-6. Pirates drop back down to 11 games below 500. Every time they get around that 10-game mark.
Yep, they just can't keep it going.
Yet they are, because of the luck of the bad division. They are still just only 9 games out.
That's we are so
good
lucky
in Pirate terms. That is so good in Pirate terms.
It is so good in Pirate terms. We're lucky that we have a very weak division.
We went after this pitcher as well, Mike. Brian Hayes hits a home run early. Then Rivas, then Palacio and Big Stacks has back-to-back home runs, and all in the same inning. Put up a bunch of runs early, like we've been doing, like we did in Game 1 against the Braves. This time, the comeback the attempt on their side, it comes into fruition, and they scored enough runs in the 9th inning to beat us. Mitch Keller pitches 5 innings, gives up 9 hits, 3 earned runs, 0 walks, and 4 Ks. And Bednar gives up 3 runs in the top of the 9th.
That's what right there sucks, man. He hasn't been pitching well recently.
You put up 6 runs against the Braves. I mean, come on, the offense is playing.
Yeah, finally the offense is there. Then one part of the pitching just decides not to show up. You think Bednar, he'd be lock it down, boom, game over. But it's frustrating. but not as frustrating as Pirate fans saying now that, oh, we're stupid to keep him. We should have traded him.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, everyone's like, oh my God, they kept him. They kept him. This shows the signs that, we're going to be competitive next year. It's going to be a bright future. They did the right thing holding on to this guy. Now it's like, oh, trade him. They should have just traded him. Closers are a dime a dozen. Like, you can't please Pirates.
You got to shut your.
I love it. Love it.
One thing I learned is you have to shut yourself off from these people.
Yeah.
They're frustrating. It's frustrating.
Oh, very frustrating.
All they do is flip flop back and forth. And what are you going to do? You're going to trade the guy. Or you're not going to trade the guy.
Exactly. Like, I have no problem that they kept him. If he was still out here closing games, you'd be in lights out. We would be like, oh, this is why we kept him. Next year is going to be great. It's a sign of thing to come. Everyone has a rough patch. He's allowed to have one. My God, he's been like
second best player all season.
Yeah, he's been lights out all year. It's a little rock patch right now. I'm not worried about it. But like we said earlier, baseball fans, man, they love watching every single game. No matter if their team wins or loses, they have something to bitch and complain about.
Yeah.
Baseball fans nitpick every game apart. That's why I love football, man. You have one game a week, and you just nitpick it for a couple of days, and boom, you're over because you're ready for the next one.
It's okay, Mike.
It's real bad. As I said, if they're not happy, they wanted Bednar to get traded. If he would have in fact got traded come opening day in April, people would say, I can't believe why this is why the Pirates stink. They give everybody away.
Yeah.
Look at Bednar up in New York making a difference. Look at Bednar in Atlanta making a difference. So you're absolutely right. Baseball fans have to be all in all the most miserable fans.
I know.
I can't imagine what it's like to have a nice baseball team. I mean, you can't.
It must be nice. Well, I think we would still.
Those people don't seem so angry.
We would here we're so used to having a bad team. So when we have a good team, we're just overjoyed and we're willing to overlook mistakes that go on. Like, that years where we were competitive, there were things that we could have bitched about day and day out, but we didn't. We let it go,
We were on top of the world.
Kutch would have those slow starts, but like, oh, don't worry, he'll be fine. And then he would be fine. And it was all forgotten. If we had that year in, year out continued success, then we would complain. Because, we do it with the Steelers, we do it with the Penguins. They play well, they win, but we will still find someone to hate. Crosby went 2 games without a goal, but he has 12 assists in that span. There's something wrong with him. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to be mad at our baseball team when they ever become good.
Game 3 of 4 against the Braves tonight, 7:05. Quinn Priester will be on the hill with a 2-1 record, 8.69 ERA, and 16 strikeouts on the season. Max Fried, the left-handed pitcher for the Braves, will be on the hill coming with a 3-1 record, a 1.69 ERA, and 33 strikeouts on the season. Game 3 tonight.
Oh man!
We finish up the Braves tomorrow. Then we have the next day, we have the Reds coming to town. So, I mean, it's going to get important here. There's a lot of important games. The fact that we beat the Braves game 1 and we just about beat them in game 2, I think is a good, it's a good sign. If you're trying to find the silver lining in all this Pirates hoopla that's going on. Again, most people aren't going to care 2 more days, but there you have it. Braves Pirates tonight, 7:05, game 3 of 4.
I'm interested to see how Priester does this game. He had that, obviously that very bad first game, but he's gotten a little bit better each game. That's when the earned runs are settled in around between 4.5, 5 earned runs a game for him. Let's get that down a little more. I'll be encouraged for him coming into next year.
There's this guy, he has a winning record. He has the ERA as high as Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? It just looks weird. So
it's funny, but hopefully, he seems to get better game in, game out. It's only his 4th start.
Yeah, I like him. I enjoy watching Quinn Priester.
How much higher the GDP would be without baseball? Probably, I don't know, a lot of money spent on baseball. It's a good question, Pete. I'm too sober to think about that one right now.
I'm going to skate over to hockey briefly. I just seen a Pens rumor. Reportedly interested in a Thomas Tatar like figure. Mike, of course, Thomas Tatar, the Devils forward. Is there anybody that's in the scope? I mean, do we have an idea? I mean, they just said a Thomas Tatar type player. Is there anybody that you'd like? Anybody that's even a possibility? Anybody that's in the scope of this Pittsburgh Penguins team?
Not only like a Thomas Tatar type player, they're actively trying to get Thomas Tatar.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he's on their radar. That's the guy that they want. But if they can't get him, they'll get a reasonable facsimile thereof. But yeah, he's the guy that I've been reading. But it'll be huge. But he's another guy who's older, but he's still productive. And I'm okay with that. Even after we got Carlson, who he's like 33. The team actually got younger because we traded away so many old guys. So I would be okay with a Thomas Tatar coming in, because he's still a veteran who can still play at the level we need him to play, and he will play his role well. But God, if they pull it off, if Kyle Dubas pulls this off, him and Omar Khan have had the greatest offseason I've seen in a long time.
Just give them Pittsburgh at this point.
Just give them Pittsburgh, and but if we can get Thomas Tatar,
give him the key, give him the city.
I'm all for it. Guys out there, he's trying to make the team better. He's making moves that you're not scratching your head at, like, why did you do that?
You're right.
You can see
you're
why
like, wow,
he's doing
really good. This is a good move.
It makes sense. And we all thought the window was closed after last year, maybe even coming into this season or coming into last season. But now, the way Crosby, Malkin, Letang all played, okay, maybe that window just is open a crack, and we get Carlson is open a little more. We add some depth. It's the window might be opening up for a final run with this year, next year. Get in if they can get out of the first round. I think this team will be a little bit dangerous.
We will see. Only time will tell. I mean,
like 60 some odd days left.
There's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of ifs on that table.
There's a lot of ifs.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to football.
Kyle Dubas isn't done. He's still cooking.
Over to the gridiron. One thing that I did find out, Mark Gilbert, the cornerback that just signed with the Miami Dolphins, of course, he was a former Steeler, former Mauler. He is a cousin of Darrelle Revis, and he is a nephew of the defensive tackle. I can't think off the top of my head, Sean Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
He's the nephew of Sean Gilbert, cousin of Darrelle Revis. Unbelievable. I'll equip a strong for sure.
Oh my God.
Mike, we're having some a couple injury issues at Pittsburgh at the Steeler camp. A couple days before training camp, before the first preseason game. Our safeties now. Minka Fitzpatrick just came back.
Yeah.
Now, the other two, Kazee and Neal, are both banged up. Kazee with an ankle, Neal with an undisclosed. We're getting a little thin at the safety position. Yeah. Let's just, in fact, say that, of course, we have a month left still. We have 32 days till the season opener against the 49ers. But if we go, through the preseason in these safeties, we have issues. What's the next step?
Oh, God. Well, Trey Norwood is also questionable.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
So he's Minka's number one backup. Keanu Neal and Kazee, they're both your strong safeties. If this happens, they're still checking. They're still, looking at free agents. There's no real starter capable out there, but you got to figure everyone's at the 90-man roster. There will be a handful of players that are cut that people are like, oh, that's a good depth piece. That's someone who could potentially be a borderline starter on another team. These guys aren't healthy. Look for Omar Khan to maybe wait until the end, could see who we can pull, or he might make a trade. That's what if they don't come back healthy, ready to go, and it's going to carry into the regular season, I could see a trade happening. But hopefully these are just like little nagging camp injuries that if it was regular season, they would be out there practicing and playing.
Zach Gentry is another one, the tight end. He's dealing with an injury. I mean, these things happen. You're seeing it across the league with people getting injured in the first couple of weeks of camp. I mean, I guess the as you said, the important one to worry about is if you get injured during regular season. But on the other hand, I mean, we could be dealing with issues such as with the Dolphins with Jalen Ramsey, or even worse with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. So we are dodging the bullet in that sense as far as keeping our players healthy. But once it starts to congregate at one position or around a group of positions, that's when it starts to worry a little bit. And we know these two things. We know that KZ spent some significant amount of time not playing since he's been here, and we also do know that Keon O'Neal has dealt with injuries prior to coming here. So whether this is a concern or not, we will find out real soon.
Yeah, it sounds like KZ just reading up real quick. It sounds like it's a precautionary measure. He has a boot on just as a precaution. And if it sounded like it's looking like if it was regular season, he'd be out there ready to go.
All right. I'll take your word on this.
Hey, Pete, I'll take Richard Sherman. Put him back there at safety. I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say.
He probably went top dollar too.
Shit, man. Yeah, to get away from Skip Bayless.
People would pay any amount to get away from Skip Bayless.
He's like, yeah, I'll take that money. Shit, man. I'm still gonna talk to Skip. Fuck. Pittsburgh, here I come. Give me the league minimum.
What's this, Mike? Colin Coward.
Oh my god,
crazy,
he's on a roll. He's on a
crazy Hall of Fame list that we talked about in depth yesterday. And we went on and we claimed that he was crazy and he was out of his mind and he's he's out there. What just happened? What did I miss with this Dwayne Haskins story? Somebody please fill me in.
So he had a list of quarterbacks that will not win a Super Bowl. These are I think all former first round picks on the list. Not only do we have people like Johnny Manziel, who's no longer in football, we have Dwayne Haskins on the list.
What's he? What?
Okay, technically correct. He won't win a Super Bowl, but way off base because my man's dead. Why would he even be on the list? Why would this is just so out of touch with reality? I don't understand. He has a lot of bad takes. This has to be the absolute worst. You have someone who is literally dead. It was national news last season, and you have him on this list.
You want me to tell you why he's a top-notch guy? This Colin Coward. I'm going to tell you. Because prior to this week, I've heard his name maybe once or twice in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You make a couple outlandish remarks. Come on. That list he had the other day was insane. Myles Garrett over TJ Watt in any situation, I think, is insane. And I think anybody with a half an ounce of brain in their head that knows anything about football would agree with that. And then this crazy, this guy who's been deceased for 2 years now, he is not going to win a Super Bowl. Let me tell you, this guy is actually a genius. He knows that these things are stupid. Hey, come on.
That's why he's has one of the biggest talk shows on.
This is why I know right now who Colin Coward is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I may or may not have heard his name before. I don't know. I never paid too. But guess what? Who's talking about him? Everybody's talking about this outlandish bullshit that he's putting out there. You got to give it to him for that, right?
So trust me, you're not missing much. He had a show on ESPN, then he went over to Fox Sports 1, and it's just getting more and more outlandish as the day goes on. He's like a modern day Jim Rome, more annoying. I hate him. He's annoying. He's stupid.
I like his strategy. I think it's.
It's a great strategy, but my lord, when I saw that, I'm like, he's not wrong, but he's wrong. You know? Oh,
I mean, it's stupid.
It is stupid.
I mean,
and then people try to
anybody can make that prediction, tongue-in-cheek kind of comment, but they don't. It's
then people are now trying to say, oh, well, it was just more than just him. You have producers, you have the graphics people, you have the researchers. No, it's his show. His name is on the show. That is on him to verify that. I'm going to make sure that this guy who is dead is not on this list. These people who are out of football aren't on this list. He's an idiot.
I've never seen him. I'm gonna have to.
He's the.
I seen a picture this morning. I mean, whenever I seen this article about him and all this going on with Dwayne Haskins, and like I said, I didn't recognize him. He looked like any other media guy that you see, basically. But again, now everyone's talking about him, so mission accomplished. Mike, also, here's one for you. Daniel Jones. Now, of course, Daniel Jones is one of the highest paid quarterbacks. This quarterback for the New York Giants. Apparently, he's having a terrible camp.
Yeah.
At what point? And the thing is, the Giants aren't this great franchise. They have 4 or 5. What is it? 4 Super Bowl championships. I mean, they do something right every once in a while.
Yeah.
But boy, at what point are they just going to scratch their head and say, "Man, did we f up with this guy?"
Oh God, that's like what a $40-some-odd million mistake they are making right there. Like I understand, some quarterbacks, it's training camp. You're gonna do things in training camp to see, okay, is this gonna work in the game? Can I thread the needle? Can I make this tight throw? I got new weapons here. Let me try some things out. The Giants more or less have the same team coming back on offense. This is just I can't even use that excuse of, hey, I'm out here slinging around just trying new things out. This is someone who was overpaid, overhyped to begin with, was carried by his running game and his receivers last year, and his head coach last year just designing a really good offense. This guy is a bum. He's a joke, and it couldn't happen to a better franchise.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't have any problems with the Giants franchise, but it's wild to me because, again, this is just one of them poo-poo moves that you see across the NFL, and the second that you hear that it's going to be a disaster down the road, and I just thought to myself, how long is it going to be before the New York Giants realize that Daniel Jones isn't going to be that guy?
He wasn't that guy when they drafted him. He wasn't that guy when they signed him. But all it takes is to have a halfway decent year on your contract here, and they will pay you, especially as a quarterback. My Lord. The quarterbacks are like left-handed relief pitchers. You get a halfway decent one, they're just going to throw buttloads of money at you.
Also, after recent struggles in a move to Vegas, the Raiders has announced they'll be joining the Big Ten. Mike, the Big Ten welcome the Raiders.
They're still gonna have a tough time. Michigan and Ohio State are still tough. Yeah. Penn State, if you're playing at Happy Valley and it's night game with the whiteout, that's a tough environment to walk into. Wisconsin with the jump around, I don't know how the Raiders are going to handle it. It's going to be interesting. If they're in the West, I think the Big Ten West, where it's currently now, or however it's divided up, outside of Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State, they will win that conference. But come time for the championship game between Ohio State and Michigan, I put my money on Ohio State or Michigan.
Yeah, but especially yes, absolutely.
They would fucking run the table.
All right, we got a little extra time, guys. This is what I'm going to do. We got about 7 minutes. I was going to do this tomorrow because the first 2 preseason games of the week are tomorrow, but I want to do it today. Let's do it today. Get our week prediction. I'm going to go down the list of games real quick, guys. You're going to give me who's going to win each one of these games. Derpy, are you alive?
Yes, I am.
All right. This sounds like fun, right, buddy?
Yep.
All right, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to go down through the 16 NFL games this week, starting with the games tomorrow all the way through Sunday. 2 tomorrow, 2 Sunday, 6 on Friday, 6 on Saturday. Let's nail them out right now. Game 1, the first game of the week, 7:00 game on Thursday, is the Texans and the Patriots. Again, this is going to be hard to do because this game doesn't matter to most people. Teams are watching these players to see who has talent and who doesn't moving forward. But just for fun, we are going to take the predictions. I'm going to start with Derpy. Derpy, who do you like, the Texans or the Patriots?
I'm going to go Texans.
Texans. All right, Mike, first game tomorrow, Texans or Patriots?
I'm taking the Patriots. Bill Belichick wants to set a tone.
All right. And again, this will have bragging rights attached to it. So if you think to yourself, oh, I'm just going to pick, whatever, because these games don't mean anything, they do have bragging rights, and we will take that part of it very serious. So
P, real quick. I think they are going to have to, the Raiders would have to adapt to that Big Ten drug test. It's not like the NFL drug test.
They would be disqualified.
Around in college.
They would be ineligible before you knew it. Game 2 of week Thursday, the game between the 10:00 game. We got a late game. I like this. The Vikings versus the Seahawks. Mike, Vikings or the Seahawks?
Let's go Seahawks.
Seahawks. Derpy, do you like the Vikings or the Seahawks?
I'm going to go Seahawks.
All right. Then we turn the calendar over to Friday. Friday, the first games are 7:00. The Giants and Lions. Derpy.
I'm gonna go. Oh, this is a tough one. Even though it's a preseason game.
My personal opinion on this is ride high with the Lions.
Who's the backup quarterback for the Lions?
Teddy Bridgewater. They just signed him yesterday.
They just signed Teddy Bridge?
They did.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the backup quarterback for the Giants?
For some guy.
Their starter is Daniel Jones, so who knows who the backup is.
I'm gonna go Lions.
And the reason I would go with the Lions on this, they've done so much, and they're kind of doing what the Steelers are doing with the free agency this offseason, with just bringing players in, trying to build depth. And every time they find something of value, they pick it. That's why I think the Lions will win this particular game, because I think that guys are trying to show out up there and make that squad and make it good. So Derpy says the Lions. Mike, who do you think? The Lions or the Giants?
I'll go with the Lions. Dan Campbell's going to have the boys fired up.
I think so, too. I say watch out for this team this year. The next game on the list is the Steelers versus the Buccaneers. Steelers versus Buccaneers, Mike.
Oh, go with the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers?
Buccaneers,
Derpy.
Yeah.
You know who I'm going with.
All right.
Oh, Derpy
can't go against them.
Yeah,
that's right.
You got to bet with the heart. I mean, the head, not the heart.
Well, whose head thinks that this Buccaneer? Anyway, the NFC South is worse than they are last year. Apparently, people were talking. I heard on the radio this morning that the NFC worst, the division that we swept, is actually worse this year than they were last year. There's no quarterbacks in this division, but we got to move on. The next game is also a 7:00 game tomorrow between the Green Bay Packers. I'm sorry, on Friday, between the Green Bay Packers and the Bengals, guys. Packers, Bengals. Mike.
Let's go Bungles.
All right. Derpy, do you like the Bengals or the Packers in this game?
I'm going to go Packers.
All right.
Because other than Joe Burrow, who did the Bengals have?
It all comes down to, again, what backups do they have?
Yeah,
and who's trying to make the team?
He's trying to
especially in this game.
Oh yeah,
first game of the year preseason. Next game is the other 7:00 game on Friday night is the Falcons and the Dolphins. Falcons, Dolphins, Derpy.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
You like the Falcons in this one?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Like, who do you like between the Falcons and the Dolphins?
Fins all the way.
Going Dolphins. All right. 7:30 game on Friday night is Washington and Cleveland. Two beautiful uniforms, I'd have to say. The Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Browns. Derpy, who do you like between the Browns and Washington?
I'm going to go Washington.
All right.
Because I want to see Brissett.
Mike?
I'm going the Cleveland Browns. Why not? Why not? I'm picking the Bengals. I'm picking the Browns.
Hey, pick whoever you want.
Picked us. This is like not how I meant to go.
When you get the bragging rights and you get to just crash down on Derpy, then it's gonna all be worth it. So pick with your, I don't know, what is that, your heart or your brain? I don't know, but try to win. All right. And the last game on Friday night is the Broncos versus the Cardinals. The Broncos and the Cardinals. Mike.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
All right. Broncos or Cardinals, Derpy?
For the meme. The Broncos. Broncos country. Let's ride.
Stealing my gimmick.
So we're halfway through, guys. Let's move to Saturday. The first game on Saturday is a 1:00 game between the Titans and the Bears. Derpy, who do you like between the Titans and the Bears?
Titans and the Bears?
Yeah.
What day is that?
Saturday, 1:00.
I know it doesn't matter.
Does it matter what day it is?
Matter?
No, I just wanted to know
he knows how the backups perform on a Saturday versus a Sunday. He's busting out their college games. Who played at what time on college to figure this out?
Now, okay, so they play on Saturday, Derpy. So who wins if they play Saturday?
I'm gonna go Titans.
Or Titans and Bears. You're just gonna say the Titans?
Yeah, because I want to see what Willis.
All right, Mike, who do you like, the Titans or the Bears?
Let's go with the The Bears.
The Bears. All right.
Let's go AFC or NFC North.
All right. Next teams on the board, or it's another 1 o'clock game. It's the Indianapolis Colts, the Buffalo Bills. Indianapolis Colts, Buffalo Bills, Mike.
I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one.
All right. Derpy, Bills or Colts?
Richardson. I'm going Colts.
All right. Next on the list is a 4 o'clock game between the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. Jets and Panthers, Derpy.
I'm gonna go Jets.
I think the Jets are similar to the Lions in some way, just the way they're really packing on this team and trying to. You say the Jets?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jets.
All right, Mike. Jets or Panthers?
I was gonna go with the Jets, but I think I talked myself into the Panthers. Let's go Panthers. Rawr.
All right. 5 o'clock game. The 5 o'clock game that day is the Jaguars and the Cowboys. Jaguars and Cowboys, Derpy.
I'm gonna go Jags because Cowboys have a bum of a quarterback in Dak Prescott.
All right, Mike. Do you like the Cowboys or the Jaguars? I know it's gonna be so hard to even say that you like the Cowboys in a sentence.
Let's go with Cowboys, boys.
But you're gonna go with the Cowboys.
Go.
I'm going Jags.
Ye motherfucking ha.
All right. So that is the Jags Cowboys. 4 games left, fellas. This one here is going to be a lot of fun. The Eagles with newly signed Miles Jack versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens in the Eagles.
Eagles are going to totally win the Super Bowl now with that linebacker.
Miles Jack. Who do you got them winning this game, Derpy? The Ravens or the Eagles?
I'm going to go.
This is the 7 o'clock game.
I think I'm going to go Ravens.
Ravens? Mike, who do you like between the Ravens and the Eagles?
I was going to go the Ravens to complete my picking all of our rivals and not picking
Are you just going to pick all the opposite teams that Derpy's pick? Because if that's the case, I'm just going to ask Derpy and then rate you down for the opposite team.
No. Let's go with the Ravens. I'm going to stay with my initial pick.
Well, no, you could take the Eagles. I'm just saying, if that's your strategy,
yeah,
let me know.
My initial pick was going to be the Ravens.
Because I wouldn't even have to write it down. We would just look at Derpy picks.
No. We're good. I'm not playing that game. I'm not doing all.
So you want the Ravens?
I want the Ravens. That's what my heart was telling me.
All right.
Unleashed the
late game Saturday night is an 8 o'clock game. This game is between 2 teams from LA. The LA Chargers and the LA Rams. Mike, who wins this game?
Oh, let's go with the Rams.
Rams, Derpy. Who do you like between the Rams and the Chargers? What?
We're ramming it.
Okay, Derpy, Rams, Chargers.
I'm trying to take both teams' perspective of backup quarterbacks. So I'm just who are their backup quarterbacks?
I have no idea, Derpy.
You don't know any idea?
Great question, actually. I have no clue.
Because I don't. I mean, I think I'm gonna go Chargers. They have more. Chargers? They have more depth. Yeah.
All right. So that's it for the Saturday games, guys. There's 2 games left to pick in the week 1. This is literally week 1. I know that they had a Hall of Fame game last week, but this is week 1 of the preseason. Sunday, guys, 1 o'clock. The first game of the day is going to be between the Chiefs and the Saints. Derpy, who do you like in this game?
I think I'm going to go Saints.
Saints in this?
Because it's not regular season. It's not like they're going to put,
Yeah.
And Mahomes out there.
Mike, Chiefs, Saints.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
And finally, one last game. This is a nice matchup, too. San Francisco and the Raiders.
Ooh.
The Jimmy Garoppolo game.
Ooh.
Who do you like between the San Francisco 49ers, who the Steelers played to start the season, to open up the regular season in 32 days, or the newly obtained Raiders to the Big Ten Conference? Mike, who do you like?
I'm taking the Raiders.
Raiders.
Just go with the Raiders. Why not?
The last pick of the week, Derpy. Raiders, 49ers. What do you think?
I'm going the Raiders.
All right. So there you go.
The Raiders.
He's calling a tie in the plastic battle of LA.
I'll put this in a safe spot. Then I'll get back over to my other screen so I could see what P is talking about over here. Every once in a while, I get a miscellaneous laugh from Mike, and I don't know what's going
I'm
on.
just giggling along. It's just great. These
There we
commentaries, the shit.
There we go.
San Fran 278 rushing yards. I can see that.
Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, man?
Who? Dum Yinzers, head there now for all your Yinzer needs. We got links to everything, every platform where you can find us. To Dum Yinzers, we have links there, or we have our email address over there. The merch store is over there. But it's still time to buy your Bob Nothing merch. We're going to retire that once the season's over. I got to think of some Steeler merch, but yes, everything at 2dumyinzers.com.
All right, go check it out, people. A lot of cool things over at the website, www.2dumyinzers.com. Guys, this is going to be another Atlanta Braves question. It's kind of easy, and it kind of bleeds into something that we were saying the other day. That's why I chose this one. But again, we are playing the Braves for 4 games, so we're going to get a couple extra Braves trivia questions this week. The question of the day, guys, is this. How many times did the Atlanta Braves advance to the World Series in the 1990s?
Ooh.
I'm going to give you a choice. So go ahead and think it over. When I get back, I'll give you the option if you want the choice or not. Yes, we are. We're live 7 days a week right here, Monday through Sunday, every week, every day, right here at 8 o'clock, though. This show that we do live, brand new every day, will get uploaded over onto Spotify. So if you prefer the podcast compared to watching the show on your computer or whatnot, you could always listen to the podcast every day, brand new, after 8 o'clock p.m. over on Spotify. Guys, the question today is this. How many times did the Atlanta Braves advance the World Series in the 90s? Do you guys want some choices?
Yeah, give me some choices.
All right. Derp, you cool with that?
Yes.
All right, here we go. The amount of times that the Braves advanced to the World Series in the 90s was either 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or 6 times. How many times did the Atlanta Braves advance to the World Series in the 1990s? Was it 3, 4, 5, or 6 times?
I'm going to go with 4.
I'm going to start with Mike. Mike, you want to say 4?
I'm saying 4.
All right, not a bad pick. You know, the Braves were good in the 90s, and we know that they won a lot of football or baseball games. So Mike is going to say 4 times. Your final answer, I'm going to lock you in on that. Derpy, how many times did the Atlanta Braves advance to the World Series in the 1990s? You know at least one, right?
Why?
No.
5. Why do you do this to me?
Okay. It was either 3, 4, 5, or 6. Derpy, how many times?
I'm going to one up Mike and go 5.
Mike says 5. P on the board says 5. Mike says 4. They went 1991. They went 1992. They went 1995, 96, and 99. 5 times throughout the 90s, the Atlanta Braves advanced to the World Series. 91, 92 that we remember real well. 95, 96, and 99, guys. 5 times. Pirates went 5 times since 1887.
Hey,
well, they won 5 times. They went to more. What's that?
Hey, we have the same amount of times we've been there.
we won that amount of times.
Yeah.
You know.
So F them.
I think we lost the very first World Series ever. I think they played in the first. I don't remember if that was a win or a loss, but long time ago, fellas. Mike, you got anything before we take off for today?
It's almost Steeler time. By this time tomorrow, we'll be counting down the kickoff. I can't wait.
I agree, man. It's going to be
So it's right around the corner. It's so close.
48 hours. We're going to be here getting ready for the big game tonight.
48, 24. I mean, 24.
It's only Wednesday, man.
It's only Wednesday. Oh, my God.
Shit.
All day, I've been thinking today is Thursday.
Derby, anything before we take off?
Bring on the Steelers.
Bring on the Steelers. My one thing is this, Mike Derpy, that bear that we were talking about the other day from China. The one that a lot of people think is a person inside of the bear costume.
Yeah.
It has man ass. This bear literally has the ass of a man. I can't. Please, somebody admit to me that this bear is not a real bear before I lose my mind.
You're saying the bear or the guy in the bear suit needs to do some squats to, get kind of muscular.
It's just flat. I've never, especially an animal that's on its hind legs to be that flat on the backside is just crazy to me. I seen a picture the other day. The first thing that popped in my head was man ass. It has man ass.
Oh,
so
God.
That's my thought of the day. If anybody could please prove or disprove this bear, I need to know.
I do wish it was Thursday.
I do need to know. But hey, I do want to thank everybody for checking us out. We appreciate each and every one of you, as always. And for the show, Derpy